The bell tolls at the castle. We're in Czechia, and we're about to ride to Nivnice, I think. And before we gather together, we're walking, taking a look at some castles, of which there are a lot in this part of the world. It's a whole nother way of living if you are part of the royal family. I always like looking at the details. There was a chisel, you know, that worked this. Was this all done by one guy, maybe?
Lednice was bought by the family of Liechtenstein, and they continued to own Lednice until the year 1945, when it was confiscated by the Czech state in regards to the decrees of President Beneš regarding the German-speaking citizens of the Czechoslovak Republic. And the German-speaking citizens were also stripped of their Czechoslovak citizenships.
There's an interesting story she just told me about the history of this place. Apparently, the Liechtenstein family owned this chateau, and it's got the gardens behind it, like huge gardens, like 400 square kilometers of gardens, if I'm translating her English correctly. When Czech took control of the area, they took the land and the chateau away from them, and they're to this day trying to get ownership back of the chateau. And the funny thing is, the size of the country of Liechtenstein right now is so small that if they were to get this back, it would like more than double their entire land area. So like if they were to get this back, it would be 2 times the size of Liechtenstein. They would double their country size if they were to get back this one chateau from Czech. And as far as that unicorn, it's a sign of good luck, which is cool. I like to look at the floors of these places too, because when you look at all the rough tile work, it makes you think about where they were quarried, and they weren't so finished as like modern manufacturing is today. Pretty cool. Yeah, that bathtub is made out of one piece of marble. When it was operating as a chateau, there was about 150 gardeners, butlers, cleaners, cooks, but 150 people here running the show for a single family. Pretty cool. Today, there's six, because it's only operating as a tour destination. I see things like this and I'm like, this was purchased for this place, either by the owners, never picked it up, or, you know, their thought went into that. People like us weren't able to come in and see all the treasures. They were just for a certain family, you know, a certain level of wealth. All of this stuff really shows you the divide of the highs and the lows, the rich and the poor. Crazy. My bed's smaller than a twin, so tiny. There's a bathroom we just passed by. Sitting area. It's interesting when you see like modern like switches and electronics, but it's designed to look authentic, you know? Like the 2-prong European plug, but it's made out of oak and stained to match. Look at these knights. I mean, look at that coat of armor. You know, it looks probably as comfortable as you can get when you're wrapped in metal, but it's pretty cool how all the little components lace together and allow movement. See, wow. Okay, we're dining area now. I don't know if you can see it, but there is a gargoyle up there in the corner. He's sticking his tongue out, making a goofy face. It looks like a rat or something. Kind of an odd accent, you know, amongst the flowers and flourishes that adorn this room. I would imagine growing up as a kid in this chateau, like you'd have like nightmares about the little critters living in the corners of the ceiling. I mean, look at the middle of the room. Holy cow, that's incredible. So you read some newspapers and some books on your stool here in the library.
In the chateau library, the most interesting
And
thing
look
in
at
this
that
room
staircase.
is the spiral staircase in the corner. It is very iconic of Lednice Chateau. If you see some photos of the interiors of the Lednice Chateau, you're most likely to see the library with the spiral staircase.
This staircase is kind of special, apparently. It's made out of one oak tree, like the whole staircase all the way up. All the railings and everything, all one oak tree. Kind of a famous staircase, actually. And the company that built that staircase also did the ceiling. The place is full of this kind of stuff. It's crazy. It's funny how history works. This building isn't like that old. Like it's not like really, really old. Like thousands and thousands of years old, you know? But there's things here that they theorize are what their purpose is. I asked about these chairs because each one of these chairs has a little spire underneath the chair. And I said, what is that for? Is it like you put your shoes around it or something, or somehow you hook something there, grocery bag? And they said, we don't know. We don't know why they put that there. We think it's maybe because people used to bring their little doggies with them, like his little dogs were like sort of in vogue. And so they would bring the dogs and then they would just wrap their leash around the spire. But they don't know. Maybe it was for a dog, maybe it was for a top hat. Maybe it was for the women to put their hoop dresses on so that they wouldn't get all crazy all over the place. Lost to history, made up by people making guesses. It's not dinosaur bones, you know, like dinosaur bones, you gotta guess because it's like millions of years ago. This just seems like recent history and they don't know. Cool. This room right here is like the men's room where boys will be boys, drinking drugs, debauchery. But up on the top here, that little ribbony piece of wood there, and there's a piece on the other side. They have something written on there, and we asked the tour guide, we're like, what does that mean? I don't know. Nobody knows. I find it so fascinating that they don't know what that could be. I mean, even the tour guide. I'm gonna guess it's something like what happens in this room stays in this room. Or like bros before hoes, or some sort of manly thing about whatever happens in this room stays in this. She says it has something to do with like, keep your thoughts pure because that's who you are on the outside. The way you are on the inside is the way you are on the outside. But that could be construed. I think that could be twisted into some sort of male machismo phrase. And they probably made it so that their wives wouldn't understand what it is. They probably giggle about it when the girls are away. They're like, we put our manly message up there. Nobody can read it. It's their own language. Fine. Good luck. Awesome. Our tour guide is studying to be a lawyer. Wow, look at the greenhouse. That is amazing. Yeah. You could I think we just walked through the first floor too. We didn't even explore up. Yeah.
We could see the fact
Yeah.
just below the first floor.
Just the first floor
One building.
of one building. Yeah. Right. There's a lot of, not to mention the gardens and all of the, the different facilities out there. Whew. You're free.
Walk everywhere.
Yeah.
There's no one now.
Yeah. Got the place to ourselves. This is the Chateau Starbucks, started in 1750. What is this? Why is this here? It's That okay? So now
Wasn't
we're. Is this part of the tour?
No.
Is this part of the tour? This is part of the tour. That is not part of the tour.
That's horrible.
That is the most nuts thing to see at the end of the tour. Hey.
I see now.
Okay, we've done the castle tour. Now we're gonna head out on the road. If I'm just gonna make this a separate video, then this will be the end of the castle tour, beginning of the video, and we'll move on to the second part, which is riding the last ride of the journey from Vienna to Jayoe Brod, and the beginning of the AZUB event, where I have to give a speech that I don't have a lot prepared for. That is going to have to be translated instantaneously into Czech by Hansa, one of his cohort. Talk to you later.